Hi everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I'm going to show you how to make this adorable little hot hands pocket holder. I have to give a shout out to my downline Patty who came up with this holder, and I loved it, and she did it last year I think, and I have been wanting to make one ever since. So Patty, thanks for the inspiration. When I saw this warm wishes stamp from the Tags and Tidings stamp, I knew exactly what I wanted to make it for. Now I want to also let you know that this project was originally done on a Facebook Friday, which means there is a PDF with all the products listed that I'm going to use, as well as the measurements that you're going to need. So if you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description. It'll take you right over there to that post. All right, well, let's get started and let's make the holder first. You're going to need a piece of 6x6 cherry cobbler cardstock and your envelope punch board. Now there are 4 measurements that you need to remember here, and don't try to remember them out of your memory. Just pick up that PDF, print it out, and you won't have to do any guesswork. All right, the first thing you're going to do is line it up at 2.5 right here, and you're going to punch and score, then slide it over to 2 7/8, punch and score. Now turn it once, and now you're going to line it up at 3 inches, punch and score, and then slide it down to 3 3/8, punch and score. Now turn it. We're going to go back to those first measurements at 2.5, punch and score, 2 7/8, punch and score. One more time, turn it, and the second set of measurements, 3, punch and score, and 3 3/8 inch, punch and score. And there you have it. Okay. All right, so now we need to trim out these little squares right here. So grab your paper snips and just cut out those little corners. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to do with our envelope punch board. I'll bring it back over. It has a little hidden tool. If you've never used it before, you'll see what I'm talking about. Up here at the top is a corner rounder. So you stick all of these pointy corners in and it'll round your corners. Isn't that adorable? So fun. All right, another thing we're going to do before we put it together is we're going to make a little liner for the inside. I think I like this one better. I cut a piece of the DSP from the Festive Farmhouse, just a scrap, and I'm going to take it and grab my pencil and just trace around that little flap there. All right. Then when I cut it out, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to stay inside that pencil line so that it's going to be a little bit smaller than the flap. Okay. So go just about 1/8 of an inch, if even that much, inside your pencil marks. And now you'll have the perfect size liner to go right there. All right, so let's put some fast fuse on it. And this is the one that's going to stay up like that. So now we want to burnish all of our lines. Grab your bone folder, and you've got 2 sets of score lines on those 3 sides. You don't need to worry about the one at the top where we've put the DSP, because that one's going to stay open. All right, so do that. Now we're going to fold these in like this, and this one goes up like that. And it doesn't really matter which order you do that in, because let's put this in here. This kind of helps to get these stuck down in the right place. So put your hot hands in there and fold that over. If you have not ever seen hot hands, they're these little packets that when you shake them, they warm up. They last for several hours, and they're great in the winter. I send my kids to the bus stop with them. You can get them at Walmart, Target, Amazon, your grocery store. They're pretty much everywhere. All right, so there is our pocket. Very cute, right? Now we're going to make a belly band that goes around this, and I thought, what embossing folder is better than the cable knit embossing folder? If you're cold outside, a nice sweater is just what the doctor ordered. Now this piece is too long. You can see whichever way we put it. So I'm going to actually run it through twice. I'm going to put it in this way first. All right. And this is one of our thick embossing folders. So you just need one plate on top. And then I'm going to take the other side and turn it and just match up those little marks right there. Now don't worry too much if this is not perfect, because most of this end part is going to be overlapped and when we adhere it, and it's going to be on the back. So don't worry too much if when you line it up, it doesn't line up perfectly. See that? It's not perfect, but believe me, nobody is going to be able to tell. All right, so that cable knit sweater, well, it's not called cable knit sweater, the cable knit embossing folder is one of my favorites. If you don't have it, you really need to get it. All right, now this belly band is not going to slide off. We want it to stay, so I'm going to put some adhesive all the way down. I'm going to wrap it around and put a little bit more adhesive there and fold that over like that. Okay, now I'm going to just get some cherry cobbler double stitched ribbon and tie a cute little bow here. These would be fun if you were having a s'mores party or a bonfire. These would be really fun. And even though it's Christmas time when I'm designing this project, I don't think that this is necessarily a Christmas project. It could be used maybe even if you were having a New Year's Eve party outside and it's going to be cold. These would be great to hand to your people. All right, let's see. I want this bow. I'm going to have to adjust it a little bit because our sentiment, the warm wishes, let's see, how do I want this? Well, we'll adjust it in a minute once we get our stamp. All right, let's do that. Let's stamp. Now, the Tags and Tidings stamp is one big stamp. If you watched my previous video, you've seen how I've actually cut some of them apart. But here, I've pieced them all back together. You don't have to cut them apart. You can just cut a smaller piece of cardstock. Let me grab mine for the part that you need. See right here? And I'm just going to stamp that right there. All right, so I'm going to just do this in early espresso. Well, let me do that a little bit better. And I need a scrap paper, actually. I have to grab my Stamparatus grid paper. That way I won't get ink on my mat, but we're just going to go ahead and do it since we're on the video. Now stamp that down. And let's pull it up. There we go. All right, now the die is also one big die. They're not all individuals, which is nice if you're like me and you tend to lose tiny framelets. These are great because you won't lose them because they're all stuck together. All right, now here is that tag, so we'll line it up right there, get it perfect. And we will run it through. Let's see how it looks. There we go, and perfect. All right, now I have cut a couple more pieces. This is a couple of pieces from the Festive Farmhouse DSP, this one. It is 1 inch by 3.5 and a piece of galvanized metallic paper, again 1 inch by 3.5. Let's double check that. Doesn't look like 3.5. 2.5. Now I'm going to just kind of put these together like that, okay? And the reason I wanted my bow, see if I put it on that side, I feel like the sentiment is going the wrong way. So let's adjust the bow. If you play around with your ribbon long enough, it will do what you want it to do. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to get some of our white baker's twine and we'll slide this right underneath there and tie this on. And I'm going to kind of fake this tag because we're going to adhere it so that it doesn't, we're going to adhere it down so that it's at the exact angle that we want it. We are tying it on, and you could just leave it like that if you wanted, but I want it to stay perfect. So let's get these guys that we just did. I'm going to slide them under with some adhesive, and then just grab a dimensional, put it on the back of that tag, and set it right there. And there you have it. Whoop, let's see. He's not perfect yet. There he goes. All right. What do you guys think? Aren't these fun little gifts for a party, for an outside party that's cold, or maybe you're going on a ski trip with friends? Perfect. All right, you guys, make sure you hop over to my blog and print off that PDF, save it. You'll have all the product information and measurements that you need. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody, and stay warm. Bye-bye.